So what do we think about these productivity platforms in the workplace? Like Slack is one of them. There's a handful. I don't need to mention all of them, but the point is, all of these, I guess, elements of being more productive in a work setting where, a lot of things are done not just on email, evidently. Like, to me, email was always cool, but Slack is fine, and all of the little productivity platforms. But I gotta say that for me, as somebody who sort of worked many years before and done a lot of stuff prior to all that, I feel like we always got the job done. And I understand you gotta pivot, you gotta go with the flow, and that's what a lot of people like to use these days. But at the same time, do you find, because I find that sometimes these things are so confusing, not confusing on the basis of what is offered. Yes, there's a lot of things that are offered that really streamline your workflow, but at the same time, it feels like sometimes people are so busy on those platforms that it makes it kind of unfun. And I don't mean unfun, I mean chaotic. Like, don't bring your chaos into my chaos, and it's so funny to me because, I worked many different jobs where there was a high volume of tasks. And I always think, like, when I was in my early 20s and mid 20s and early 30s, and obviously I'm above 35 years old now, but like when I was younger, I feel like we got the job done no matter what, but there wasn't so much back and forth on these productivity platforms. Now, listen, I only offer this because I could be wrong. And, I'm always okay with being wrong. Maybe I'm getting a little more tired, been in the workforce for a long time, and I'm like, I'm just exhausted. And maybe the productivity platforms are really good. Maybe these sites that really make the job streamlined and everyone could see the workflow and you could defer to tasks that have been done, maybe it's actually really amazing. And I'm not saying that it's not, but I am saying that sometimes it does feel like people overuse them. Am I the only one who thinks that? Like, I feel like they're overused so much that it's like you're on one hand, what was the other one? There was Slack, Asana. There was a lot of different names for all of these productivity platforms. But the point is, I feel like sometimes in a daily basis, whether you're working remote or in person, you're on the platform, you're connecting on the cell phone, you're connecting, if you're in the office, in real life, in person, you're connecting on social media, like an Instagram DM. Before you know it, you got 7 conversations going with the same person, sort of about the same things. And I feel like my mind works a little better if I could separate things like that. But again, I have been in the workforce for a long time and done a lot of stuff, really wonderful stuff, really like proud, exciting things that I could be really uplifting and optimistic about. I've done a lot of them without these platforms, and we did really wonderful with what? An email. And I know saying email sounds really old. I get that, but it was actually really cool, and we still did the work. We still got the job done. But yes, times are changing. You got to adapt. You got to be as quick as the generation of the workforce that is out there now. So it is a little bit of a challenge for me, but I feel like I'm not the only one who's like, I don't want to use Slack. I don't want to use Asana. Is that the name of one of them? Whatever the names are of all these platforms. There's so many platforms. All the platforms. Again, they might be valuable, but I also sometimes wonder, are they? Do you like them? Work, as Rihanna says. But just make it work efficiently. That's all I ask.